Live from inside Turner Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Lynchburg, it's time for Division III men's volleyball as the University of Lynchburg Hornets host the Regent University Royals. A Sunday morning, a brunch and blocks broadcast, we'll call it here. Hello again, volleyball lovers. My name is Kyle Haney, hanging out with you. Yeah, for some college volleyball on a Sunday morning. What is better than that, fans? This is a rematch for these two teams in what was a close match earlier this season. Regent took down Lynchburg on February the 8th, so not that long ago, a couple weekends ago, in 5 sets. Actually, the only 5-setter that Lynchburg has played this season. So you could argue the most competitive matchup in that regard for Lynchburg this year. So they get to rematch it today. We'll run it back on a Sunday morning. This game was changed from Friday due to some weather issues, and then also Lynchburg really kind of ravaged by the flu. They had a lot of guys down with the flu. Coach Ryan Turner said, you know, we really just would not have been able to field a team that we would have felt comfortable with, and Regent obliged and adjusted the schedule. They did get more snow in the eastern part of the state, so that Friday night trip there could have been a little bit dicey for the Royals coming from the Tidewater area, but we're here today on a Sunday morning. We're so glad to have you. We've got some statistical analysis for these two teams, and yeah, at this point in the year, we've actually got something. In our previous broadcast, we really didn't have much, but now Lynchburg comes into this game at 6-7. You can see Regent with the advantage there in the aces per set, the attack percentage. Lynchburg more blocks per set, and more games for Lynchburg as well. Just mentioned 6-7 there. Hornets have won 2 in a row. That's after a 3-game losing streak that included that Regent loss. The Royals, meanwhile, started off the season with 4 consecutive victories. They have now lost 2 in a row. Regent was actually in Lynchburg on February 15th. Earlier this week, they took on Randolph and lost in 5 sets there. So Regent is 1-1 in 5-setters. Mentioned Lynchburg already 0-1 in 5-set affairs. Does today need the full 5, or maybe something else in the cards? We'll find out. We will meet you at the net in less than 10 minutes. We'll have the first serve coming your way next between Regent and Lynchburg. You'll see it on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
When creating a sustainable future, your choices matter, even your choice of a college. The University of Lynchburg is the first college in Virginia to go carbon neutral. Our dining hall is Green Restaurant certified. We compost all of our food waste and purchase our electricity from landfill gas. Now we're turning a hazardous lake into a thriving urban wetland. When you choose Lynchburg, you leave a smaller footprint while building a better tomorrow.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic in Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
All right, we're having fun here on a Sunday morning. Brunch and blocks. Lynchburg will need to block well to win this game. It's more than just a catchphrase for this one. It's also a part of the game plan for head coach Ryan Turner. Coach Turner in his first season, of course, as the head coach here at the University of Lynchburg for the men's team. And then you probably know, if you've been following Lynchburg volleyball, that Coach Turner, previously an assistant on the women's squad, an assistant on Kevin Cardozo's women's team this year, and looking forward to more great things on the ladies' side here when it comes to Lynchburg volleyball. But the men in full flight this season, 6-7, and Coach Turner did before the game say, you know, getting back to 500 is kind of a psychological hurdle that we would like to climb over today. Well, you have to take the first step to get to 500 today if you're Lynchburg volleyball, and then get over it. That would happen maybe on Wednesday. It will be a code red matchup for Lynchburg. They'll take on the crosstown rival Randolph Wildcats. That one's on Wednesday right here inside Turner Gymnasium. We hope you'll make your plans to join us in the gym or on the broadcast at LHSN. And then Lynchburg's season will roll over into the month of March on the calendar. They'll travel down to Danville to take on Avert on March the 5th. Home here Saturday, March the 8th against Roanoke and also Bethany. And the hits just keep coming. Lynchburg's got more home games against Randolph-Macon and Eastern Mennonite, road trips to Virginia Wesleyan, Roanoke, Randolph. It's a busy schedule for Lynchburg. And our producer, director extraordinaire, Micah Adams, and myself were talking about men's volleyball kind of falls into this weird little window. It's not exactly in the winter sports window with men's and women's basketball, but it's also not a spring sport because they got cranked up after the teams got back from Christmas break there, the holiday break. So yes, this men's volleyball schedule, it's something new for everybody here at the University of Lynchburg, but I think so far the Hornets are really enjoying themselves. We're enjoying Maddie Schuchter on the public address down there. Maddie is a first year on the women's field hockey team from Exeter, England. And I think everybody was blown away with the accent when she came on the microphone. And yeah, she might bounce us out of a job. She sounds great down there, and the fans very appreciative of her efforts. We've got a modest and lively crowd in the gym. There's Ryan Turner on your left, Kevin Cardozo in the middle, Thomas Chandler on the right as the guys meet at the nets here and shake hands before what we think is going to be an exciting game for Lynchburg. Bryce Jackson in the middle. We highlighted Bryce Jackson because he is the conference leader in attack percentage at .370. It's 52 kills on 100 total attempts for Bryce Jackson, and it's 1.68 kills per game. Yeah, there's number 22, the man in the huddle right there. Lynchburg will have plenty of other point-scoring options. And, of course, Bryce Jackson as a middle will figure heavily into the blocking scheme up front. For Regent, you got to watch out for Aaron Campbell. They set him a lot. He was the team leader in terminations the first time these squads met. 17 kills on 55 total attempts for Aaron Campbell. That was in the game on February 8th that Regent won in 5 sets. So Aaron Campbell seems to be premier option number 1 for Regent. 224 total attacks this season. That is far and away the team lead. The next closest for Regent is number 99, Lucas Whitman, with 146 swings. So in the starting lineup today for Lynchburg, number 5, Jeremiah Costello. Number 9, Miller Varley will get the nod at setter. We'll mention the setting setup for Lynchburg as this afternoon, or morning turning into afternoon, goes on. We've got Mason Kenna, the junior, at outside. Nick Redding, first year, on the right side. Stefan Kapanov is the sophomore in the middle right now. You'll see him and Bryce Jackson alternate. They'll both play a bunch. Bryce Jackson is in the starting lineup. Starting libero for Lynchburg will be Braden Berardo. Berardo wearing the white. The rest of the Hornets in the red today with the black trim. Regent on the left side of your screen in the white top, blue shorts. Libero for Regent has on the black jersey. That looks like number 1, Ariel Downer. Ariel Downer, number 1, looks to be the libero, the bro for Regent. Here we go, first serve in the air. Let's play some college volleyball inside Turner Gymnasium. Lynchburg will set the middle. Kapanov got sent back. Play on, though. Our first true rally comes on the first serve, and there's your point for Regent. Down the line on a good, strong swing, and the Royals are on the board early, 1-0. For Lynchburg, let's go ahead and talk about the setters right now. I mentioned Miller Varley getting the nod. Coach Ryan Turner said from the start of camp that was the tightest positional battle. And Noah Wolf and also Josh Roman will both have chances to set in this match. They've had multiple games and matches this year, Lynchburg that is, where they've used different setters. And if you look at the stats, they really back that up, although Varley and Wolf, more action there as the kind of the 1 and 2, the 1A, the 1B. Here we go, Lynchburg a chance to get in system again. High, hard one off the hands of Jeremiah Costello is long. Costello and the guys looked up at the official, asking for a touch, but nothing there in the estimation of the guys in blue. Our officials today looking quite dapper in kind of a blue, and it's I don't know if the pants that the refs are wearing are darker blue, but it's a good look for our officials there as the serve gets sent into the twine. And serving will be important. We really have learned that over the course of this first men's season. Those of us who didn't have as much experience with the men's game, more experience with the women's game, the serving is such a big part of the men's game. And it looks like Lynchburg's going to get a point there. Regent was out of alignment up front. You have to maintain enough of the structure there. And yeah, now Coach Caitlin Tothro is going to step up and tell one of the Regent players, yeah, you need to be more in the middle there. Or was it just completely out of rotation? They may have just completely been out of rotation there. She's looking at the clipboard and double checking with the official. Lynchburg does lead 3-2. Kind of an interesting start to the ball game. Good serve from Costello. Had some nice top spin and velocity coming off. Ooh, and there's a solid put down up front by Regent. The man in the middle taking the point away. That was number 8, Aaron Campbell. Yeah, Aaron Campbell, they're going to set him early and often as he'll go over and check with the coach about a possible adjustment. Tie game 3-3. Remember, we're playing to 25, must win by 2. And it's first to 3 sets in the win. If we get to set number 5, that goes to 15. Still have to win by 2. Libero is out for Lynchburg. And in to serve Heath Atkins, number 21. Heath Atkins on the season, 8 service aces to 10 errors. That's kind of in line with a 1-to-1 ratio that Ryan Turner would like his guys to have. And team-wise, you'd like to get near there as well. Lynchburg put the wall up on the outside, but they couldn't keep it in play. Bryce Jackson and Nick Redding over there on the far side in front of our scorers table, which is new. You can see the graphics sliding across there. It's a great look. We got a short visit from our athletic director, John Waters. We might be able to get Mr. Waters on for a set here. He's a busy man this time of year. In the college athletics world, this is the crossover season. Bryce Jackson, no crossover move there, just a straight slam to the hardwood for a big point for Lynchburg. 5-4, Hornets on top. But this crossover season, you get basketball wrapping up and other winter sports as well. Think indoor track in that chemistry there. And then you get all the spring sports that have started up. And you got men's volleyball still going on. One off the ceiling there that Lynchburg was able to keep going here. Let's see if the hard work pays off. Not a great pass. Still a solid back row strike, though. Good job to climb the ladder by Nick Redding. Lynchburg with a good block up front. This is going to lead to a point. Oh, yeah. Bryce Jackson. Noah Wolf, I believe, on that side. Good stuff. No, Miller Varley, I beg your pardon. Knew there was a setter involved over there. Great block by Lynchburg. Nick Redding to serve. Hornets with their, I believe, their biggest lead of the young game. Redding served too strong, and now the lead is just back down to 1 at 6-5. Kyle Haney and our LHSN team, which is another day where we're smaller in numbers, but never lacking in talent and strength and intelligence and hard work. With Micah Adams at the controls and Jonathan Faust. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is a swing that will stop you right in your tracks. An absolute steaming fastball by Nick Redding. Yeah, got to see this again. We got replay too. Watch it coming from the back row, behind the back or behind the head on the platform, and just whammo. Whew. You could feel that. You could hear that. 7-5, Lynchburg by 2. Wow, a rifle of a serve by Mason Kenna. That one kind of had that true knuckleball feel, didn't have much spin. Hesitate to call that a float serve because didn't exactly float much. It just came in there with the high velocity. 7-6, Lynchburg by 1. Softer serve by Regent. They appear content just to get it in and play some defense, and there was good blocking on this near right side by the Royals. Push to the back. Lynchburg's going to get in system. Not a great set, but Jeremiah Costello got the right hand on it. That's a good hard slap right there. Interesting approach to that, but very effective. They'll go back to Campbell again. Yeah, he got the conventional swing on that one and let it fly. Beg your pardon, that's not Campbell. It's not Aaron Campbell, but that is number 33, Colby Yawn. Colby Yawn's got good numbers, 1.32 kills per set. And he's swinging it at almost 22%. 0.219 on the attack percentage. They'll go to Yawn again. I think he tried for the tip and got blocked. Yeah, Lynchburg asking for 4 contacts there. They got it, and the Hornets will lead by 1. Took the officials just a second to recognize it. And Coach Tothrow will go over and ask the question there. You can follow along on the live stats at lynchburgsports.com. Great way to watch a game. And Lynchburg right now, 3 kills on 11 attacks and 1 ace for the Hornets. They lead 8-7. High toss, strong serve, fended off with 1 hand. And that swing was long. Lynchburg by 2 again. Great activity by Colby Yawn again. That was Colby Yawn. Threw up the 1 hand to just kind of stymie the serve, and he actually took the 3rd contact as well with a strong swipe and went long. Better platform, classic dig that time. Yawn will roll one over. Where does Lynchburg go? Down the middle. Oh yeah, and that's down for another Hornet point. You feel Lynchburg getting some traction now. You feel Lynchburg with some momentum as the Hornets really spreading the sets around, aren't they? Not predictable on the offensive side at all. They've been setting different players, different locations. Really good stuff so far for Lynchburg. Did that serve hit the line? Yes, it did. Dot in the eye there, just barely catching a piece of the stripe. Lynchburg by 4, 11-7. Good strong run at the service line here by Bryce Jackson. Should be ace number 8 of the season for Bryce. He does a little bit of everything. Already pointed out, he is the conference leader in attack percentage. Efficiency at the net, attacking. A strong serve there gives Lynchburg a chance on the over dig. Another over dig, capping off. Trying to send that one straight down. Lynchburg will look to get in system again. Let's see where the Hornets go. Costello with an absolute banger, but it's out. Ooh. Jeremiah Costello, he got good wood on that. Tried to go down line near side. Couldn't quite steer it between the boundaries. Here's Colby Yawn to serve for Regent. You see neither team really substituting too much here. You do get less subs in the men's game than you do the women's game. Back row attack for the Hornets. They've done that quite a bit today. And there's one that's a little long. Lynchburg will take it. 12-8 Hornets. Bryce Jackson already with 2 kills in this one. And the 1 ace. 1 dig for Bryce Jackson as well. Lynchburg statistically no points on the block. They had the one there that we thought maybe should have been a point in the blocking category, but sometimes the stats don't tell the whole story. I think Lynchburg's been blocking pretty well. Set there by the libero. Downer was nice. Oh, and perfect placement on that side. That was Aaron Campbell. Fantastic touch and placement by number 8, team leader in kills, 3.77 kills per set. And I mentioned as far as the attempts go, by far and away, they're setting him a lot more, 224. Next closest is number 99, Lucas Whitman at 146. And both guys have played the same amount of sets as well. Sometimes those numbers can be a little misleading. Wow. Another one, just bully ball on the outside for Lynchburg. Nick Redding that time making his presence felt. 13-9. This was a game that Lynchburg a week ago lost in 5 sets. And Coach Ryan Turner and the rest of the coaching staff said, you know, we felt like we gave it away a little bit, especially in sets 4 and 5. Regent out of order up front again, as far as what the alignment needs to be. And those are points that coaches will tell you are really just unforced errors completely. Regent had the structure that time. Lynchburg triple block up front, but the Royals find a way through it. 14-10. Home team by 4. We appreciate you tuning in for our brunch and block session here. We should be making all kinds of breakfast references. If we could throw them in there, we would be well served to do that. Back row attack for Lynchburg. Something more traditional here. Yeah, oh, they'll set the middle, capping it off, and he caught a body right there. He got the head, I think, of number 17, Aubrey Flora. Watch it again. Quick attack right there. Not a whole lot you can do on that. Stefan Kapitanov, member of the men's soccer team as a goalie. He's an athletic dude. Coach Ryan Turner has talked about Stefan probably doesn't even realize how athletic he is yet. Still kind of learning himself and his game and what he can do, what he can bring to the table. And remember, this is the first year for Lynchburg volleyball. And on the roster, Kapitanov is a sophomore. Bryce Jackson is also a sophomore for Lynchburg. You have Mason Kenna, who's listed as a junior, went to Carolina University like Bryce Jackson. Everybody else is a freshman. So a lot of young talent, of course. Oh my goodness. Bryce Jackson, rise and fire, my friend. Straight down to the hardwood for the middle. And you don't lead the conference in attack percentage without being able to do this. Watch it right here. Good run up, timed it well, perfect set. Hand on top of the ball, basically undefendable. Perfectly executed in the middle attack there for Lynchburg. Ooh, a little net joust. Bryce Jackson's going to get a point. Okay, he won the net joust anyway, but an infraction by Regent there. Might actually deny Bryce Jackson another kill. Oh, well, Lynchburg's got the Regent Royals where they want to be right now, where they want to have them, I guess. 17-11, make it 17-12, lead trimmed to 5 after the out serve. Lynchburg serving wise now, it's 4 aces to 2 errors. So that's going to be something that Lynchburg is more than happy with. That time to set for Bryce Jackson wasn't quite as perfect. He tried one of those mid-air adjustments, couldn't quite handle it. But yeah, 4 errors, 3 errors now to 4 aces rather. So 4-3 on the ratio for Lynchburg. Got to feel good about that, especially early in set 1. Lynchburg appears to be switched on and ready to go. Mason Kenna got a handful, but sent it right into the mesh. And now Regent with a little mini run. They climb closer. 3 in a row here for the Royals. Let's see how quickly Lynchburg can get this man, number 11, Preston Nimetti, off the line here. They're going to get him off right now. Good job by Lynchburg to restore some order to the game and put an end to that 3-0 Regent run. Could be a timeout coming here. Let's see, Coach Tothrow talking again to the official. Might be checking the rotation maybe, as I saw our official go to the scorers table and check something. You can ask what the rotation is and if you're in rotation properly or not. Regent serving wise, no aces yet to 3 errors. And that does seem to be a real difference in styles that is noticeable. Yeah, Coach Tothrow going to go to the bench now. Is Regent out of rotation again, maybe? Or maybe they were threatening to be. Coach Ryan Turner tells his squad to huddle up and talk a bit. Caitlin Tothrow is the head coach for the men's and women's volleyball teams at Regent. She's known as KT, and she's in her 4th season as the head women's volleyball coach, 1st year as the men's coach for Regent. We're ready to go again. We've had a few of those longer breaks. Wow, perfectly placed. No, that ball was out. A great effort, a great idea to go down the line there. It sounded like our public address pro, Maddie Schuchter, thought it was an ace for Lynchburg, and it looked awfully close. I can't blame Maddie on that one. Plus, that would be on the far side for her. Harder to see that sideline. Look out. Look out. Bryce Jackson at it again. Jackpot one more time for Bryce Jackson. Set him early and often. You have to have some balance, but, you know, when Bryce Jackson is jumping well, when he's seeing it well, when he's timing it up, again, he's basically undefendable. Yeah, watch it. I mean, what can you do? What can you do for Regent? You just have to make sure if you're Lynchburg, you don't become too predictable, and teams can start, you know, getting a double or a triple block even up front on those middle attacks. But I don't think Lynchburg falls into that category at all. Their total attacks are pretty well spread out. In fact, Bryce Jackson, you know, he looks to be coming into the game 4th in total attacks. Ooh, there's one that hit the tape and came back. Ooh, nice effort there up front on the solo block attempt. Good rally there. Good rally there. It's going to be Lynchburg to serve here. That was a funny. You maybe couldn't see that one because it was off camera, but Miller Varley, the setter for Lynchburg, he had a ball thrown to him by our ball person, who is, believe that is Lynchburg women's volleyball outstanding middle blocker, Leah DiNardo. She threw him the ball, but Varley was looking at Coach Turner, so it just kind of came by, and somebody from the bench passed it to him there, but it was a funny exchange. Oh, that one got the high hands and then went out of play, almost into the lobby. Point there for Regent. The Royals looking to fight back and get in this thing. We had some early ties and lead changes. This will be number 18, Jackson Gray, to serve. Jackson Gray serving. You know, coming into this contest, Regent, more aces per set, 2.4 aces per set for the Royals. Lynchburg, 1.6, but I don't see that when I watch this first set, volleyball fans. Do you? Looks to me like Regent a bit more conservative with the serve. They just want to get them in, whereas Lynchburg with that more attacking style on the service line. That was number 18, Nick Redding, that tried to get up and send one straight down. Just maybe lost how close he was to the net there, perhaps. 21-18, Regent back within 3. Still a ball game. Remember, first to 25, must win by 2. Lynchburg now with a more comfortable 4-point cushion, only needing 3. You start doing some of those equations when you get close. There's always the first to 20 concept that coaches will talk about a lot. There's a libero with a very high pass that went up to the rafters but didn't get disturbed by the rafters. Look out again. My goodness. Nick Redding. That time on the far side, far pin attack there, flying high. Really nice. Nick Redding up front with Mason Kenna and Stefan Kapanov right now. What a strong serve from Costello. I mean, that thing's got some steam on it. Look out, access denied. Kapanov putting the cap on it, along with Nick Redding. Important work up front for Lynchburg, and they only need one. 24-18. First set action here between the Royals and the Hornets. Another great serve from Costello, and another block. Did it stay in? It did not. Kapanov and Mason Kenna on this near side pin, putting the wall up, but couldn't connect on the point. This is Aubrey Flora, number 17 to serve, just one ace on the season. Lynchburg still just needing one. Kapanov to finish it off, and Lynchburg does take set 1, 25-19. Hornets get the first set victory. We'll take a breather, run you through some stats, and get you ready for set number 2 between Lynchburg and Regent. You're seeing it live on LHSN.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the athletic training laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
Lynchburg takes set number 1, 25-19. Hornets get the victory there. Don't count your chickens just yet. Lynchburg in the first meeting between these two squads actually took sets 1 and 3. There's a good look at the coaching staff. Ryan Turner on the right, and the guys having a laugh with our athletic director, John Waters, sitting in the front row. Looks like Coach Waters is enjoying his volleyball here on a Sunday. The brunch and blocks Sunday. Lynchburg did get some key blocks in that one. Hornets statistically with 12 kills on 33 total swings, and they are swinging it at .212 in the attack percentage for Lynchburg. We were talking about Ryan Turner just a bit there. You know, I think if you told him, hey, at this point in the year, you'll be 6-7 with a chance to be 500, bang on 500 at 7-7 after today, I think he would take that before the season starts and you haven't seen the guys in the gym, because he told me didn't know what to think, didn't actually want to even have any expectations. But then when you see the guys get in the gym, you see the talent that's there, all of a sudden you're only human, right? You're going to start thinking, well, what are these guys capable of? Hey, this guy's pretty good. That guy's pretty solid. This guy's inconsistent, but he could be really, really good. That kind of thing. So you do. You have those things in your mind. You can't turn your mind off, as Lynchburg will give up a point here on the opening serve. But Coach Turner said, you know, once I saw the guys, I did start having some expectations and think, well, maybe we can win some games, you know. It does feel like a team we're at least going to be competitive. Nice dig by Downer, the libero for Regent, as we'll hold our thoughts and put our full attention into this one. It looks pretty good. Jeremiah Costello tried to go to the far corner, but not accurate enough on that, and the Royals lead by 2. It is number 33, Colby Yawn, at the service line again for Regent. Royals come into this one at 4-2. Mentioned they won their first 4 games in a row. They've lost their last 2. Regent was on the road February 8th and 15th. How about Nick Redding flying high again for Lynchburg's first point? He just moves so well. He really is a great leaper. Quick bounce too. Doesn't take him long to really load up and get up there. You know, some players need kind of a longer runway. Other players have more the helicopter concept. They talk about that a lot in basketball. Of course, you get some of those all-time great rebounders, or those quick jumpers. I'm trying to move closer to where Jonathan Faust can hear this. He's locked in on the camera work. But really, and now with the modern science, you can quantify how quick of a leaper a guy is. 2 guys can have the same vertical. 2 guys can have a 40-inch vertical, but one guy can actually get there faster, believe it or not. So that's an interesting concept that I think people always knew was a thing, but now with our new science, we can quantify it. We can put the numbers on it. In to serve for Lynchburg, number 21, Heath Atkins. It seems to be the only subs we've really seen for either team are serving subs to jump in there, and Atkins will get himself an ace. Perfectly placed down the line here. Love this. This was not our highest velocity serve that we have seen today, but the placement there really bothering Regent. Serving such an interesting thing in the modern game. You can go for a player. You can target a player. Regent's going to get in trouble there with a poor set. You can target somebody on that back row that you want to try to pick out. You can try to serve what they call the conflict zones, the seams in between 2 players. You can go for a sideline. You can go for the back line. All those options in play. And it's fun to watch that. Fun to watch how different players use the resources in the toolbox there. There's a swing that's way off the mark. And Lynchburg now with a 5-0 advantage. It's a 5-1 run right here for the Hornets in set 2. Lynchburg takes set number 1, 25-19. Hornets with fantastic production from Bryce Jackson in set number 1. Nick Redding, 5 kills in this match so far. I believe he's got 1 or 2 in set number 2 here. Stefan Kapitanov back in the game. He's actually exiting, I beg your pardon. Kapitanov and Heath Atkins both out. The libero, Braden Berardo, back in Hadn't really called Berardo's name too much. The bro for Regent, Downer, has been, I think, really standing out in a lot of ways. There's one that spins off the block. Too much mustard on that one to keep it in play as it caroms into the scorer's table. And Lynchburg on top 6-4 with Nick Redding serving. Nick Redding can be a bomber back there from service line too. That one with a little side spin on it. Handled nicely though by Regent. Oh, but Lynchburg's gonna send that one right back. How about it, Mason Kenna, Bryce Jackson. Lakeside Drive Roofing Company is out early to put the top on that one. It's Nick Redding to serve again. Took pace off that one. Good job by Downer to come in with the pancake. There's a reference for you. Slid the spatula under that one, but it's not going to matter because Lynchburg strong on the far pin again. Boy, Hornets are rolling now. Hornets are getting some traction. Feels like a brunch buffet right now for Lynchburg as they just get plate after plate of the delicious stuff. Another kind of a side spin toss. Regent needs a point, might get it right here. Yeah, Jeremiah Costello couldn't hustle down there to clean up the crumbs off the plate that time. And the Royals will get a much needed point to slow down some of this Hornet momentum at the breakfast table. And you can eat breakfast all day, so honestly, we could use these references even after the clock strikes noon here on this Sunday. Final Sunday of February. Hope it's been a great month for you. We've had some dicey weather in central Virginia, so I personally am ready to see the calendar flip over to March as we get visited by more great talent. Our guy Josh Smith hanging out here on a Sunday, snapping some photo, maybe some video, little of this, little of that. It's Lynchburg to serve again. There's a strong one that would not stay on court. I think that, again, the serving, too, so situational as a coach with what you want to see from your guys. Do you want to see certain things when the game is at a certain point? You might call that volleyball IQ, game feel. But if you got a team on the ropes, if you really got a team searching for answers and you're in the midst of a great run yourself, maybe you want some more aggressive serving then. Take some more chances then. Whereas if you're Regent, you're down by 2 right here. Maybe you want that serve. Just kind of a set serve, not even jumping into it. Good grief, that one hit the ceiling and went back over. And again, this is absolutely peppered right here. This is salt and pepper with it. And this is a heavy dose. This might be red pepper flakes on top of the hash browns right here. Lynchburg, I think they're just swinging it so well right now. Live arm action here today on a Sunday. Lynchburg did not miss the wake-up call, not on the attacking side anyway. Well, Jeremiah Costello tried to run down a weird kind of a bump set from Bryce Jackson. It'll be a point for Regent. When Lynchburg gets in system, boy, they're really tough to stop. Regent's finding that out right now. I don't think Regent's blocking has been in bad spots, but Lynchburg just letting it rip. That time Costello had to fly in for a tip shot. Lynchburg's going to get another chance to go here. Miller Varley to cap it off. That'll be a point for Lynchburg. Let's throw out some credit for Miller Varley right here. You know, I've been talking about the high flyers and the middles for Lynchburg, but Varley really dealing the cards nicely, you must say. That'll be assist number 15 for Miller Varley, and now he's back on the service line. Varley reaching to his left to hoist one up with a nice dig. So Varley's doing a little bit of everything, huh? Let's see where Varley goes this time. Once capping off, gets it right down the pipe, and that one is absolutely blistering. Miller Varley again on a perfect delivery here to cap it off. And Lynchburg taking full advantage of the free ball. Bang, what do you do to stop that? I mean, it's the middle. You're probably not gonna get help from any of your outsides. Regent with a good strike right there. I believe it was Colby Yawn that will get the point for the Royals. But what do? It happens so quick. You're almost always going to be solo block up front, middle on middle. And Kapitanov really impressing right now. Did not go to him. This time it's the other side, and it's down. Big banger from Nick Redding. Do not leave Nick Redding out of the attack equation. Should be termination number 7 for Nick Redding. Just letting it rip. The man from San Diego, California. Can we talk about Southern California? We were actually in the Los Angeles area last year for Lynchburg baseball. Had a great trip out there. Ooh, strong swing, almost it didn't even jump there from Aaron Campbell. Good scramble right there from Regent. Aesthetically pleasing scrambled egg situation there. Oh, tried the foot on the back line, which is legal in volleyball. That is legal to use the foot there. And that was number 13, Keith Larkin, that tried to just extend the big toe on the left side and get a piece of that. I think he did, but couldn't lift it off the floor. 14-9 Lynchburg. Middle attack from Regent goes wrong, wide left from the offense's perspective. And now Lynchburg really, you have to say, with traction and rolling. Wonder if we'll see a timeout at some point here from the Regent side. It's Jeremiah Costello to serve. Team leader in aces coming into the contest. That is a reason why right there. That's so tough to deal with. Good run by Downer to get that one back to where Regent could get it over, but to no avail. Special shout out to Ariel Downer, number 1. The libero is a sophomore from Spring Lake, North Carolina. There is the timeout for Regent. You could feel that coming. Lynchburg by 7. Hornets on top in set 2 against the Royals. We're back in 60 seconds or so on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
When creating a sustainable future, your choices matter, even your choice of a college. The University of Lynchburg is the first college in Virginia to go carbon neutral. Our dining hall is green restaurant certified. We compost all of our food waste and purchase our electricity from landfill gas. Now we're turning a hazardous lake into a thriving urban wetland. When you choose Lynchburg, you leave a smaller footprint while building a better tomorrow.
Sunday, brunch and blocks. Lynchburg looking for win number 7 of the season and looking to avenge a 5-set loss to Regent earlier this year. And it was on February 8th, so it wasn't that much earlier this year, a couple weekends ago for Lynchburg. The Hornets have won 2 in a row, 2 and 3 in their last 5. So that means it was a 3-game losing skid for Lynchburg before this little mini run that they're on right now. How about a little solo stuff by Nick Redding near right side? 2 hands, just putting a cap on that one. 17-9, Lynchburg with a good after timeout result. It's still Jeremiah Costello serving for the Hornets. I mean, his serve is imposing. Watch this. Oh, of course. Maybe that falls under the announcer's jinx line there as he fires that one into his own teammate there. Costello would love to have that one back, but he's not going to get it back. I didn't recognize Jeremiah Costello when I saw him. He cut the long hair off, and he was one of those guys that was dealing with the flu. So he's completely healthy and ready to go today. Don't take my comment there out of context or anything, fans. But he just, looked different from the last time I saw him, and looks good with the short hair. Maybe do you get an extra inch on the vertical or something like that? Probably not, but you never know. Bryce Jackson back in the game for Lynchburg. So is Heath Atkins. Let's see. Official wasn't quite ready to let Atkins back on. Now he'll let him in there, and Heath Atkins will go serve again. This is what we have been seeing for Lynchburg, who leads by 8. Set 2 action. Lynchburg did capture the first frame, 25-19. Wasn't easy by any means for Lynchburg. It's real back and forth for about the first 15 points. Downer wore that one off the chest. Part of the reason was Joshua Bissell flashed in front of him, and he did not have a clean vantage point at that. Downer a little bit upset. Back row communication for Regent not quite clean there, and let's give Atkins credit for a tough serve. Downer will take that one cleanly. That was the first time that Regent had been able to swing in a while, really, and it did not go their way. More brunch and blocking up front. Lynchburg with another send back. Nick Redding and Bryce Jackson. Lynchburg's been great at the net, I think. Statistically, not a ton of points in the blocking game, but I think they've been really good. Another one there in the conflict zone between Downer and Bissell. Atkins took advantage of that and got himself an ace. 21-10. Lynchburg rolling now. If you're Atkins, you're probably going back there again, I would think. Wouldn't you, fans? I think he wants to try to nail that conflict zone again. Heath Atkins, first-year man from Yorktown, Virginia. Handled by Bissell that time. Another swing coming from Campbell and another block. Access denied by Lynchburg. The stuff up front from Nick Redding and Bryce Jackson. Wow, here comes another timeout from Regent. Royals looking for answers. Hornets rolling in set 2, on top by 12 on LHSN. Hornets on top and in charge in set 2. Kyle Haney back with you on a Sunday morning that's getting ready to become an afternoon. Lynchburg rolling at the service line. Another announcer's jinx, although that ball was in the air when I said that. Heath Atkins just couldn't quite crawl that one over the tape. 22-11. Lynchburg by 11 now. Hornets need 3 for a set 2 victory. Then they'll go looking for the keys to the broom closet and try to get a sweep. Lynchburg's last 2 wins are sweeps. And in fact, here's a good stat for you, fans. All of Lynchburg's 6 victories this year have come in straight set fashion. All sweeps for Lynchburg. Beat Wilson, Mount Aloysius, Avert, Warren Wilson, Newman, and Gallaudet. All sweeps for Lynchburg. They have been swept a few times, of course. Lynchburg a 4-set loss to Eastern. The 5-set loss to this Regent team. Good fend there by Downer. Lynchburg's going to make something out of this. Atkins went for the back line, found it. Good scramble right here. This is one of our better rallies of the day. Atkins will get another, and that one is down for a Lynchburg point. I beg your pardon, fans. Don't think that was Heath Atkins. I think it was number 15, Mason Kenna. Mason Kenna. Nick Redding to serve for Lynchburg. 23-12. Hornets need 2. Over the block. What a play right there from Costello. He'll take 1 and 3. Becomes a free ball. Great effort. Campbell blocked. Lynchburg couldn't keep it in. Aaron Campbell Team leader coming into this one with 3.77 kills per set. Lynchburg, to their credit, has kept Campbell in check for the most part. In check for the most part for him means 7 terminations between the 2 games. So, if you call that in check, I guess. Lynchburg, back row thunder from Nick Redding. How good is this? How good is this? Perfectly timed. Sweet strike, and it's just a missile. We'll get a second look at it here. Boom. My goodness. At that velocity, placement doesn't matter as much. Lynchburg needs 1. See how they get it? They're going to get it on a wide strike from Regent. Lynchburg takes set 2. Big victory, 25-13. Hornets are now looking for the sweep, up 2-0 over the Royals. Don't miss the conclusion. Set 3 is coming your way next in about 5 minutes on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Hi, Mara Willis. How are you? Pretty good.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Okay. You're good.
Welcome back, volleyball lovers. We appreciate you tuning in here on a Sunday. Lynchburg leading 2-0 over the Regent Royals. Right now, Lynchburg really getting after it from the service line. 8 aces, 11 errors. Regent has no service aces and 7 errors. And again, when we looked at the stats at the beginning of the contest, they did not tell that same story. Regent came in to the match with 2.4 aces per set. Lynchburg just 1.6. So that's why you have to watch, and each match game presents something unique all the time. You just never know. You did not really expect that. When you look at the statistical analysis, you expect that from Lynchburg at this point. Another high rising termination from Nick Redding. He is really letting it fly today, isn't he? Nick Redding for Lynchburg has been a big part of the offensive puzzle here. That is termination number 11. And there's a put down on this near right side by Josh Bissell. A piece of the block, but that was Nick Redding that couldn't quite keep it in bounds. Lynchburg blocking today has been really good, fun to watch. Extremely special at times. Six total blocks for Lynchburg. And I would argue that those positive block touches, those ones they slow a ball down or send the ball back and make Regent have to rebuild, they've been very, very important in this one. Lynchburg on top 2-1. If you're Regent, you really got to fight here. On the road, got to find a way to dig deep. Morning start time, long trip. You know that had a lot to do with it. Regent out of alignment again. Yeah, Lynchburg has gotten a couple points on this, but Regent not in the proper alignment in the serve receive. And the coach not agreeing with it. So you don't have to be stacked 3 by 3. But you have to maintain the proper alignment with the players around you. And that's a tough one for a broadcaster to kind of put into words, but I think most of our volleyball fans watching will know what I'm talking about. And again, it could just be out of rotation completely. I don't think so, though. Even though Coach Jothrow with kind of a bewildered look on her face. Good camera work again from the LHSN team there to get a look at that. And I mean, really, that's the story of what's going on right now. The broadcaster's always trying to tell a story. Well, I think you tell the story of the game that's going on right now. And that's what we're seeing. It's maybe not exactly what you come to a volleyball game to watch for, though. And there's a look at the Lynchburg bench. Couple players on the Beach team doing the stats there for Lynchburg. Lynchburg Beach team has been active. While we have a moment, we could check in on that Beach schedule. I know they're going to be at Liberty University this week. I believe that's Friday games for Beach volleyball this week. We've got softball going on down on Moon Field today on campus. That'll be a blast. Lynchburg baseball's on the road. Men's tennis in action this week. Women's lacrosse in action this week. We had men's and women's basketball yesterday. We had men's lacrosse yesterday. There's a shot that's going to go down. Jeremiah Costello with the point for Lynchburg. But back to the busyness of this schedule. And hey, let's talk about this men's volleyball team again. We want to invite you to Turner Gymnasium. And another good look at it right there. Good placement from Costello. We want to invite you out Wednesday. That's a code red game for Lynchburg against the crosstown rival Randolph Wildcats. And of course, if you can't make it, you can always check us out live on LHSN. 6 p.m. first serve there, so we'll get our broadcast cranking around 5:50 or so. Could be me, could be Ethan Morotsky, could be Joe Brennan, maybe Evan Gates on the call. Who knows? It could be a cast of thousands. You'll just have to tune in. Good serve by Costello. Campbell's going to rise high. Costello will take the first touch. Now Lynchburg going to Mason Kenna, who did not get the ideal strike on that one. And now it will be a Regent Royal point. All the info available at lynchburgsports.com, and the live stats are there as well. Lynchburg right now in set 3, leading 5-2. They took sets 1 and 2 in convincing fashion, and I would call set 2 more convincing than set 1. Lynchburg had to really fight to pull away in set 1. Capping off. He's got another one. Yeah, that's down. middle attacks from Lynchburg have been so good. Stefan Kapitanov. That'll be termination number 6 for him. Bryce Jackson with 4. And they're both swinging it at just astronomical percentages here. Stefan Kapitanov, 6 kills on 8 swings, no errors. It's a 750 hitting percentage. 750. About as perfect as you can get. Lynchburg by 4. Mason Kenna rifle, but that one's into the mesh for a Regent point. Bryce Jackson, the man that leads the conference in attack percentage, 370 coming into the game. Right now, he's swinging it at 375. It's 4 terminations on 8 attempts, 1 attacking error for Bryce Jackson. So those 2 middles for Lynchburg doing major damage. Lynchburg is seeing how productive those middles can be. And yes, it has to, again, fall within the entire offensive system. You can't become one-dimensional or predictable for a defense. Lynchburg has not fallen into that. After all, Nick Redding on the outside leads the team today with 11 terminations. That one's into the net. Kapitanov back in. That was Heath Atkins out. Atkins has been basically the only sub. I beg your pardon, Kapitanov is actually going out. The libero back in. That has been Braden Berardo today. And I'll say it one more time. I haven't called Braden Berardo's name probably enough. He's been active. That one sort of side swiped off the hand and then went out of play. Lynchburg on top 9-3. Liberos cannot serve in the men's game. That's a difference. In the women's game, they can serve. So you're just, by the nature of that, not going to talk about the liberos enough. Not getting enough credit at all from me. So I'll make sure we point out Braden Berardo a bit more. He's a first-year man from Midlothian, Virginia. I always talk about this roster for Lynchburg. Really got some great geography on there. Nick Redding, San Diego, California. Noah Wolf from Eagan, Minnesota. Hopefully they're watching in California and Minnesota. Earlier in California really is brunch and blocks or breakfast and blocks over there on the left coast. Regent, their roster, Virginia heavy and Tidewater heavy. So they're definitely recruiting their home base. Jeremiah Costello gets sent back. Lynchburg's going to get a chance here to get a decent swing. Ooh. Mason Kenna went with the roll shot. That was awfully close there on the back line. But Regent now getting some traction, a little mini run for the Royals. Talked about their roster. It's a lot of Chesapeake, Virginia, Suffolk, Virginia Beach, King George. Ariel Downer, the fantastic libero, is from Spring Lake, North Carolina. Josh Bissell, Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. And how about Keith Larkin from Snohomish, Washington. I think it's in the Seattle, Tacoma area, but don't quote me on that. Snohomish, Washington. We may get a chance to look it up here. Here's a tight shot of number 15, Mason Kenna, who's a Charlotte, North Carolina native. And Ryan Turner, you know, he said starting this program, you're going everywhere. You're beating every bush you can find, trying to find talented players. And said he had a lot of very productive trips to some of those volleyball tournaments that I know all the parents watching remember going to, those long tournament weekends. And the coaches are at those too. Stefan Kapitanov, access denied over there. Another block for Lynchburg. Not the loudest one, not the most heavy-handed one. And it was actually Bryce Jackson up front. I beg your pardon there. It was Bryce Jackson that got the block, but the officials called a violation on Lynchburg. So it will be a Regent point. Royals are within 2. Gotta like the fight back here from Regent. Probably underselling that. Royals not content just to get back on the bus and ride home here. They want to play some more volleyball. And yeah, they're within 1 right now. Regent, excellent burst. Wonder if Coach Ryan Turner is pondering a timeout for Lynchburg. Colby Yawn again. He's had an outstanding game. Colby Yawn, that'll be kill number 5 for him. Here we go. Lynchburg a chance to get in system. Bryce Jackson, he'll get a point. Somebody from Regent was in the net. 11-9. Lynchburg by 2. Needed that. Now Stefan Kapanov is back to the front row. Libero Braden Berardo out. It'll be Bryce Jackson to serve. Short toss, middle of the court. Yawn, swinging and scoring. Colby Yawn starting to heat up. Aaron Campbell, team leader with 7 kills for Regent, beg your pardon. But Yawn now really inserting himself. Love it. At the service line for the Royals, who can tie on this point. Costello off the hands, up and out. Yeah, that was forceful. That was forceful from Jeremiah Costello. He's still recovering from illness. But Jeremiah Costello never going to be too far out of the action for Lynchburg. Just his first termination, believe it or not. Can that be right? Got to double check that. Knew he had one earlier. I think that's 2. Costello with 4 aces as well. He'll get another one off the hands and out. Colby Yawn gave chase, not there in time. And Jeremiah Costello really is heating up now. Jeremiah Costello, Chesterfield, Virginia, Matoaka High School. First year man, 6'3". Outstanding athleticism. Really understands the game too. Good block again from Lynchburg. Positive block touch there. Kapanov will take the first and the third. He'll get sent back. Lynchburg rebuilding. Not a great set there. And it will give Regent a point. I think Miller Varley's been outstanding today. And he has been worth watching. He has, as far as I can recall, the only one that has done the setting for Lynchburg. And as he just got a little advice from Ryan Turner about where to go there, or how to go there maybe. That one wide right from Regent. Jeremiah Costello back to serve. Who should be up to 3 terminations, I believe. And 4 aces. See how many he can add to that total here. None on this trip to the service line. Got the handful, but not high enough. And here comes a serving sub for Regent, number 17, Aubrey Flora. Flora's got that one in, handled by Berardo. That one probably went over the antenna. Yes, it did. Mason Kenna did his best to work that one over the net in a legal fashion, but unable to do so. And we'll use the phrase again, Regent could tie on this point. We've done this several times in this third set. And remember, to race to 3-set victories, Lynchburg is leading 2-0. So Regent must win this one to extend play to a 4th. Oh, little dewdrop in ball from Mason Kenna. Off the palm there, might have even caught the wrist as he rolls this one over, but it is a perfect place. Yeah, there you get to see the plays that preceded this one. Yeah, great touch there from Mason Kenna. A little bit of luck involved, a lot of skill and feel. Heath Atkins to serve again for Lynchburg, who leads by 2 and leads 2-0. Lynchburg could move to 500 on the season. 7-7. They get a victory here today. Atkins over his head, free ball. Bryce Jackson finds the libero. Strong swing. Oh yeah, play on. Great rally here. Great rally here. Look at this. Can't take your eyes off of this one. Oh, maybe some miscommunication on this set, but it's going to work out. It's number 13, Keith Larkin, that ends up scuttling the point away for Regent. Nice rally there. Great activity from both teams. Regent, in the end, gets a kind of a weird way to end one of those rallies. Mason Kenna. Whoa, how about that from Bryce Jackson? Perfect timing and feel right there. That was kind of just one of those muffins coming in his way. And it really, perfect timing on the jump, but definitely some luck involved to get that block sent perfectly in your direction right there. Lynchburg by 2 again after Regent could have tied again. Good blocking up front from Lynchburg. Yeah, that'll lead to a Hornet point. Bryce Jackson, Mason Kenna again. Miller Varley in the front row as a setter for Lynchburg here as well. Nick Redding at the service line. Big high toss. Lynchburg by 3. Oh yes, access denied again. Lynchburg blocking. Miller, Varley, Bryce Jackson. Two-man castle over there on the right side. That'll prompt another timeout from Regent. Lynchburg by 4 and looking to win the match in straight sets. The conclusion coming your way shortly, maybe on Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
Back inside Turner Gymnasium, it's Wayne Profit Court inside Turner. We're on campus here at the University of Lynchburg and broadcasting live on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Kyle Haney, glad to have you today. There's a wide serve that will get Regent back within 3. Royals really got to dig in right here. You got to be perfect for this final stretch if you want to extend this to a 4th set. These teams did play a 5-setter on February 8th that Regent won. Lynchburg took sets 1 and 3 there. Regent sets 2, 4, and 5. There's Bryce Jackson. Oh, let me start again. It's Bryce Jackson again with a tongue twister. Shouldn't have been. Ended up being another fairly easy point, as the ball just kind of floated in his direction, picking another apple off the tree and taking a big bite. And back to his leaping skills. Another great block from Varley and Jackson, but they couldn't keep it in. But Jackson, with his physical gifts, it makes those even easier. He jumps so well, and another one of those quick jumpers that we talked about. He's got great timing as well. Sees it. So when he gets one of those in his direction, more often than not, it's going to end the way he wants it. Costello didn't get the handful on his attack for Lynchburg. They'll try again, this time from the back row. That one's stunted. Libero Downer will come up in platform set. Another solid rally here. 2 hands over from Costello. Somebody from Regent was in the net. Lynchburg will take the point. Back and forth volleyball there. I think that's the stuff that's very aesthetically pleasing, very fun to watch. Yeah, everybody wants to see the big kills, the loud swings, eye-popping stuff there, but a good back and forth exchange like that, I think the fans were very appreciative. Another fastball serve from Bryce Jackson, too strong. Lynchburg serving, to me, has been standing out in this one. It's 9 aces to 17 errors now for Lynchburg. For Regent, still no service aces. None, not a one. Jeremiah Costello, did he get that one through? Yes, he did. Number 5, Costello, the man from Chesterfield, really starting to heat up. Bouncing back after illness. A little bit of a quieter first set for Costello. He's got it cranking now, though, doesn't he? 21-17, excuse me. Lynchburg needs 4. The libero Berardo Trying to backpedal and go overhead and get that one across, but unable to do so. Royals within 3. And no aces for Regent. 10 service errors. And we've probably pointed it out more than enough. Berardo handles that one. Not a perfect pass, but Lynchburg got a decent rip. Berardo flying across to get the right fingertips on that one. Play on, another good rally developing. Costello will take it high off the hands. And then in the end, Larkin can't hoist it back in the right direction. Jeremiah Costello, he really is heating up here. Should be 5 terminations now for Costello. He'll go to the service line. Already 4 aces in his bag. Error his last time there. Let's see if he's a bit more conservative on this one or not. Still might be the fastball coming. Yeah, it sure was. Great one. Nice dig by Downer. Middle attack. And that works for Regent. 22-19. Royals still playing hard. I believe it was Aaron Campbell. His 3.7 kills per set. Campbell's up to 8 now. So those numbers will take a hit unless he gets really busy and or we play a 4th and 5th set. Watch out. Stefan Kapitanov with an absolute belter. And that one had to feel good. That's another one you could hear. Stefan Kapitanov. Man, kind of a shorter arm swing that time too. Didn't matter. I mean, just full crank there. 8th termination of the contest for Kapitanov, and still has no errors. It's only taken 10 swings statistically. Could be up to 11 now. Another Lynchburg point. They're within 1. Let's see if the Hornets can finish this thing off in style. It's Heath Atkins at the service line. Lynchburg won the first 2 sets. They're looking to make quick work of the Regent Royals. Here we go. Atkins on the run up. Got into the body a bit of the Royals. Lynchburg's going to have to earn it. Yeah, and they'll have to earn it on another point. Missile going by Atkins. Reached to his right and got fingertips on it. 24-20. Royals would need to win 4 straight to extend set 3 to extra points. Lynchburg still needs just 1. Where do they go on the first set? Let's see. Good serve. Got to go somewhere. Oh, ooh, very nice. Kapitanov taking care of the overpass. It was Bryce Jackson again. Beg your pardon, Bryce Jackson handling the overpass and handling the game. Lynchburg wins it 25-20. It is a straight set victory for the Hornets. It took about an hour and 15 minutes. They did it in front of a very appreciative home crowd, and we're so glad you tuned into this one. A few stats, we'll run them down for you here really quick. Lynchburg swinging it at .268, an attack percentage of .268 for Lynchburg. No, that's actually up to .294 as the live stats have adjusted. Lynchburg, 10 aces. They were really good in that department. Lynchburg got 10 points off of the blocks. They were solid up front at the net. Nick Redding led the way with 11 terminations. Bryce Jackson, 8. Stefan Kapitanov with 7. Those guys, get this, the 2 middles for Lynchburg, they combined for 15 kills, 1 error, and that's on 23 attempts. Combined there for the outstanding middles for Lynchburg. Can't set those guys enough and can't say enough about the damage that they are doing. Heath Atkins, 4 aces for Lynchburg. Jeremiah Costello had 4. Really great performances there at the service line. For Regent, they were led by Aaron Campbell with 9 terminations, and special props to their outstanding libero Ariel Downer. He was fun to watch, but it was too much Lynchburg in this one. Hornets win the first 3, and that's all we need here on this Sunday that has turned into afternoon. Final Sunday of February, a great one for Lynchburg. They move to 7-7. Regent has now lost 3 in a row, 4-3. So anyway, we'll wrap it up, though. We had a minor technical glitch there. That actually wasn't a technical glitch. I thought it was, but we're having fun. Why not? Lynchburg, again, 7-7 now. Great little run here for the Hornets, 3 in a row, and they are back in action Wednesday, a Code Red day, hosting the Randolph Wildcats. We hope you'll come out and see us in person, or as always, you can enjoy the broadcast on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.